Welcome to the WindyCity Rundown. Yeah, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another great episode of the WindyCity Rundown. I am Eric Avila, the most excited person right now in the world.
I look tired.
That is Jose Contreras. Apparently, he's tired, but it's all good. We're both working men doing this for a living. We're here to provide you guys a great show, too, as well. Got a lot to talk to you guys about today. Week one of the baseball season has started. We want to see how we're feeling. If anybody's feelings has changed, Jose said he's going to get Marquee Network. I don't know why he's doing it, but he's going to do it anyways. But the Cubs have been off to an exciting start. Sox are just playing how they're playing. We're going to get into a lot of wrestling. The countdown to WrestleMania is about a week and a half away. Pretty exciting news. Yesterday was probably the greatest Raw episode that we probably have ever seen in a very, very long time. So that we're going to get to that. And then obviously the matches of WrestleMania are slowly but surely approaching. And then also the Bulls and their playing game. 3 games left. Are you really excited for the playing tournament? We'll see. We'll get our questions and our opinions about that, guys. If you want to join us, the link is also on the comment section too as well. If you guys want to hop on and join us, talk about whatever, or join us on the comment section. First things first. Make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and hit the little bell on our Facebook page to get notified when our shows are live. Jose, how the hell are you, my guy?
Good, Eric. Good. Excited for everything you just said right now. WrestleMania is right around the corner. The Bulls, even though it's just an extra game or two from the playing the playing game, it's there for us to watch. It's still entertainment. It's still almost consider the playoffs, or maybe some people do consider the playoffs, regardless of the fact it's something to look forward to watching,
110%,
no matter what. Mm-hmm. And the Cubs are playing great baseball right now. Like if only somebody on this podcast said they would, but we need whether here or there. But
yeah, right. Nah, yeah, dude, it's a good time right now. It's a good part of the season. Our March Madness is just finished. College basketball kind of almost officially over. The NFL season. The Bears actually came into yesterday? Was it yesterday that they all went to Hallis Hall? All the players reported yesterday. So football season ran around the corner with the draft soon to come. So yeah, dude, it's a lot of exciting stuff to get geared up for the football season, my guy. Sports in general, dude. I mean, shit. Look at me today. Look who I'm representing, my guy. Look who I'm representing today. Great win for my boys Arsenal today, 3-0 against Real Madrid. And all bangers. All 3 goals, bangers. Caesar did say right here, Houston killed themselves. They were up, 12, I think, or 10 or 12 points. Down the last 3.5 minutes of that game, and then Florida just came back and just on a 12-0 run to win the title. Congratulations to Flores on that. Yeah, I mean, I said it when we were filling out the brackets. I like Florida. I love Florida to go all the way to the final. They were the most complete basketball team to me. You could see that they started pretty shaky. Obviously, they're young. Nerves are gonna hit. So that game was based off of that. And Houston. Damn, dude, I keep on forgetting that kid that they got. The dude that just shoots the lights out of the damn gym, bro. He's a good player too. I forget his name. I'm gonna look him up right now. But dude, he had them. Houston just went ice cold the last 4 minutes of the game, 3 minutes of the game, and Florida.
Don't ask me. I really didn't watch any of it.
I understand that. That's why I didn't ask. But yeah, definitely Florida did shoot this. I mean, I'm sorry, Houston shot themselves in the foot. And yeah, I mean, and Florida capitalized. To me, they were the best complete team in the NCAA tournament. Basically all the NCAA season towards the last 2.5 months. So, I mean, I think the right team did deserve to win it. Everybody was on Duke winning it because of Cooper Flag, and they almost were there. If it wasn't for their meltdown like Houston had on Saturday, we would probably have been singing a whole different story. Yeah, it's Sulu. What's up, Sulu? I said Duke lost the game against Houston. Yeah, we're just talking about that right now. So
Yep.
it's college basketball. It's a bunch of young kids doing it the best they can, and dude, it provided some exciting moments, throughout the last couple games. I mean, let's be completely honest. We all like a Cinderella story here and there, right, Jose?
Of course. Yeah,
Right.
100%.
But when you give us like the real good basketball teams, no matter if it's college or pro, like that's all we want at the end of the day. Just really good basketball to be played. And the last 3.5 games, I mean, the last 3 games, the two final games and the final game yesterday, provided that if you give us the best team, the product is still going to be there in December. What up, Tony? Hopefully
What's up,
y'all doing
Tony?
good.
What's up, Caesar?
Everybody,
What's up,
thank you guys for
Gary?
joining. Obviously, join us on the comment. Join us on the link too as well, guys. Hop on, talked about us. We're gonna get into a lot of our sports and wrestling talk today too as well.
I know.
He's
tough.
like, "What's your mock?" Caesar goes, "What's your mock draft looking like, fellas?"
It was tough, Tony. It was definitely tough. Mock draft looking like, hey, look, unpopular opinion here. Okay. I'm one of those crazy individuals that wouldn't mind Ashton Jenny coming in the number 10 spot with the Bears. So, that's me. Now, at the end of the day, if it doesn't happen, I also wouldn't be disappointed. Like I understand there's plenty holes to fill, but I'm also one of those individuals who wouldn't be mad if it happens.
Right. Me personally, I think a crazy thought in my head. I feel like the Bears might do something stupid, not stupid, but crazy, of like probably trading up in the draft if the opportunity presents themselves of like getting Abdul Carter. I can see that happening. He's the best defensive player, probably the best player on the draft board this upcoming draft. But Mason Green is also a good pick too as well. The Bears, I get it. Gentry is a great enticing pick for the Chicago Bears, but I think you get a lot more help or a lot more depth in the back end and get a better, or not a better, but somewhat up to standard running back and one of the Ohio State running backs in the second round. I agree with 22 as well. Offensive line is what we need. And again, if the opportunity presents themselves, yes. But at the same time, Tony, as you say, offensive line, I also say the defensive line needs help too, to be completely honest with you, because we have really not really have gotten anything on a defensive side that stood out or that's looking like a good splash for the Chicago Bears, other than what's the guy that we got from Atlanta? What's his name? You know,
just say the center from Atlanta.
No. The Grady, the defensive tackle from Atlanta too as well. The one that they released.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. I forgot his name, but that's still not enough.
I'm not in football mode right now. I'm really not. Sorry, guys. I've been away.
Man. You're supposed to be on football mode every day, 365.
Cubs have my attention right now. Wrestling has my attention.
No, but in all reality though, like either way, offensive defensive line help is going to be good. I think it's whatever you can get to muster up to help up this team.
Exactly.
Yeah. Come on, guys. It's baseball season. Champions League season, Tony. Come on, man. You know this. It's football season still. The real football. The one that's played across the world, my guy. That's the season on right now. No, but in all reality, dude, I look, the Bears need help everywhere. The Bears need help on both sides of the line. I mean, Gentry is a nice pick. Gentry is a great pick. If you were 80% built, maybe even 90% built, the Bears are not even close to that. I think if you really care about Caleb Williams, then yes, offensive lines really go. But if you really, really care about the defense overall and actually helping out the defense and Caleb Williams, because you can also help out Caleb Williams by drafting a defensive player, by getting the ball on shorter fields and stuff like that, that helps too. Don't get me wrong. So, you know what? Can I get my little soccer statement up?
Speaking of John,
can I get my little soccer spiel for a second, Jose?
Go ahead. Hey, please, by all means.
Okay,
it was a big day for you Gunners.
It was,
and for you Gunner fans. So you deserve it. You deserve it.
You're right, but I'm not naive, and I know at this stage, bro, it's 180 minutes. It's not 90. If it was just a one-off game, then bro, I would be jumping off this thing. This would have been a whole Arsenal Real Madrid, Champions League podcast instead of what we're going to talk about today, my guy. But it's 180 minutes. There's still one more game at the fucking Bernabeu, which still kind of like okay, it's 3-0, but we've seen remontadas like nothing. You could go PSG Barcelona a few years back. You could go as even Liverpool Barcelona, Liverpool coming back against Barcelona a few years back too as well. This is just recent. You could even go Tottenham versus Ajax too as well. Tottenham coming back. It's 180 minutes. I am not naive. Today was a great day. Fucking Declan Rice, baby. Declan, Deckers, Marino. Today, Arsenal put on probably the most perfect game plan that you could probably play against Real Madrid. Still Real Madrid in Champions League and the Bernabeu with the history behind it. I will be celebrating to the fullest the moment that game finishes next Wednesday. That's all I got to say. Today was a great result. Still hold 90 minutes in Spain, in Madrid next week. Regardless, Real Madrid dug themselves in a hole. You know what, John? To be completely 100% honest with you, this is Real Madrid. Literally today is Real Madrid season in a nutshell. I mean, you could go far back as the first game against Barcelona where they lost 4-0 at the Bernabeu. A Barcelona that's a much better team than Arsenal. I will say that handsly and, respectfully, because I will know how to put my fandom to the side. But Real Madrid has been struggling throughout the whole entire season. Defensively, the middle, even up coming to the attack, whatever the case may be, Mbappe was never the solution. I think we can all agree with that. The ones that actually watch football and purely that Mbappe to Real Madrid, even though it was a free, it wasn't the right move. They literally just won the Champions League last season. They needed a little bit more depth defensively and in the midfield because everybody's getting old. And truth be told, this is what they're at. Yes, they're still in the title race in Spain. Yes, they're in the quarterfinals in Champions League, but they need more depth in those positions. Mbappe wasn't it, and that was it. They were. I agree. They were a better team without Mbappe. Does he help a little bit? I mean, look, Mbappe probably gave Real Madrid maybe like 12, 13, 14 points himself so far this season to be in the Liga and to be right now in the Champions League. But you're right, they were a better team. If Madrid come back in advance, bro, you would not hear that. Like, I don't even want to think about it. I don't. I really don't.
They're better without Mbappe. Look, all I know, Eric, is Arsenal, Fentanyl, Carnival, Lakers in 5. Lakers in 5, Ocho.
He's got Barca, baby, of course, and they play tomorrow against Dortmund, which is a very exciting game. I'm just pissed that the game of the more interesting matchup, Jose, is Inter Milan versus Bayern Munich. That's the most interesting matchup to me out of all the Champions League game outside of the Arsenal one, bro. And it sucks that they have to play at the same time. Like that game was on today, bro, and that kind of made me upset for me to watch that. So,
hey, shout out to
2-1 next week.
Shout out to the Bulls. They were down by like almost 30 earlier. Now they're coming back. They're down by 13. You know what I mean? Come a little comeback, in the end of the third.
What we fucking do?
I'm saying. Look, I'm not saying anything other than the Cleveland Cavaliers, which is one of the best teams in the NBA. The Bulls were getting smoked, and they're making a little comeback. That's all. I'm just speaking facts. I'm not saying anything else.
Yeah.
Hey, without Kobe White, I think Vucevic is out too.
Vuce and Kobe, no Vuce. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it means nothing. 2-1 next week in Madrid. Who do you got? 2-1 Madrid or 2-1 Arsenal? That's a real question for me, bro. Because right now I'm okay with a 0-0 or a 1-0 loss. We still advance. No Kobe, no Vooch. But now that we talk about the Bulls, and I got my little soccer spiel. Thank you very much for my TED talk on my soccer. Hopefully, the EA podcast, EA Sports podcast, soccer podcast, will come back sooner or later. It's coming back next season. It's coming back
2-1 next week.
It's cool. Madrid can win 2-1. We still advance.
Man, I'm okay. Look, going into the Bulls, like you were saying, Eric. I'm not hating on it. I think the Bulls definitely can beat the Heat in the play-in. I think it's possible.
That's one game.
Crazy.
Do you think they'll make it even more?
You like after the trades and everything, you would think they wouldn't be here, but they're here. And don't get me wrong, I'm just as mad as you and the next Bulls fan. The fact that where it's like We want them to have an identity. We want them to tank. We want them to blow it up and start fresh. But the
Facts.
fact that this is happening now with the team they have, you almost want to root for them. It's like I'm a
Yeah,
sucker for the underdog, right? Nobody gives these Bulls a rat's chance
of course.
of anything, right? A rat's ass of a chance of anything. And
Right.
for whatever reason, man, I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for them. I hope they win.
And see, and there goes my issue right there. Like you're rooting for them to win, right? I can't, and I can't stand that because like where was this would have been a lot more exciting if this was the beginning of the season, or this would have been more exciting if like it meant a little something, right? Like if these were just offseason moves that they or the moves that they made in the offseason, right? Something to be excited about these young and up and coming guys. The fact that okay, great, they're meddling at the moment, and we're getting excited about a team that's just making a plan with the opportunity of making the playoffs. When in reality, if the season ended today, they wouldn't even be in the playoffs, you know. And we're getting excited about that, and that's the part that I hate the most. And that's that we're falling into the same bullshit, the same trap that we've been falling for the last 5, 6, 7 years. Ever since Jimmy Butler got traded. And that's what's upsetting, that we're just getting excited for something that we know it's inevitable of them getting either swept by either the Cavaliers or by the Boston Celtics. All for what? Just for the opportunity to play 2 extra more games with the lights on
Yeah,
and
but it's like, but here's the thing. Here's the thing, and they're already in it. That's it. They're already in the playing game. So there's nothing. There's nothing we can do. We're pissed. We're mad that it's gotten to this 100%. But they're already in it. So you might as well have fun. This season's already wasted. We know they're not winning a championship, like you said. We know they're not getting a high draft pick, like you said, or at least it's not as likely, right?
And that's the part right there.
Oh, okay. Well, which is fine. We can still be mad at that, and at the same time, enjoy this because it wasn't expected. You know what I mean?
But I mean,
and I know coming from me, this could be a little bit
definitely.
I contradict
And
myself
you're upsetting me.
Because well, hold on, but I feel like there's the difference because in the past, right, the Bears thought they had something going for them. When they made the playoffs that one year when they were going against the Saints, and I was the only one saying no, they got nothing. That was what was pissing me off, is that everybody thought they had a so-called chance in the playoffs because anything can happen in the playoffs. Here, though, we know there's no chance. So let's just fucking enjoy it. I'm willing to be realistic and be like the Bulls have no chance in winning anything. At the same time, because nobody expected this, because this is a young team who's showing that they could be fun to watch.
Yeah.
Let's watch it. I think it is going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, but then it's still hard to watch because nobody has the damn channels or the antenna to watch it.
That's true.
Nobody's gonna fucking pay $7.99 for a bust ass team anyway.
Hey, find your local bar. I'm pretty sure somebody there.
Right.
Last time we went to Beggars in Whiting, they had it on, right?
And this is another one too. Like if there's anybody that needs all the credit in the world, is Billy Donovan.
It is.
It's Billy Donovan. And the fact that Billy Donovan doesn't get that as much respect simply because he, whatever case may be, is not succeeding here in Chicago. Billy Donovan is a damn great coach. And he's proven ever since the trade how good his system can work if he has the right players around him. When you have 2 ISO players in DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine and really not really playing his type of system, it's not going to work. It's crazy to me, and I've said this last time, and I keep saying this. It's crazy to me that Billy Donovan's system worked when Zach LaVine was out, when he wasn't playing. And the fact that they're playing better now, ball without those 2 guys or without him, means that Billy Donovan knows how to coach, and he could coach his ass off, and it's proven with these young kids that are playing right now. That's what credit's due. I would rather have a coach like Billy Donovan because they're hard to come by having decent NBA coaches nowadays, where you see even the great teams or even the better teams like the Phoenix Suns, like the Milwaukee Bucks, who fire their head coaches because of whatever success, when there's no expectations on the team, and you have a coach like Billy Donovan or like San Antonio Spurs with Greg Popovich, who's like on his last legs. Unfortunately, hopefully he's doing well with his health reasons. But even then, so like if you have a good coach, why get rid of him when it knows that it works if you just get the right pieces around him?
And that's the one thing I would apologize to Billy Donovan, because I was ripping him week in, week out on this show.
Right.
Rightfully so, because team played like ass. There was no ball movement. It seemed like nobody was holding the so-called stars in his team accountable. And in all reality, it still holds true that he didn't have like the reins of this team. Like nobody was listening to him. It seemed like anybody was doing what they wanted.
Right.
Like Dean held on to the ball, DeMar DeRozan held on to the ball, and now you're seeing that same problem over there in Sacramento, which basically
Right.
tells you what it was them, not the coach.
Not the coach.
Now that they're gone, Donovan is doing his job. So yes, John, you're right. This technically is going to save his job, but I'm willing to look at it and be okay with it because what we've been able to see now, if we start to build around the team and start getting pieces that make sense going forward, and he's doing well, great. But if not, then it's like, all right, you got to go. But I wanted to give him one more chance for that alone because we haven't seen him without Zach LaVine until now, and it looks pretty damn good.
And it looks great. I mean, hell, we haven't watched it, but from the looks of the stats that we've been reading or whatever, the highlights I've been watching, it looks like the Chicago Bulls are looking good without him. John right here says another summer of not getting a superstar. When was the last time the Bulls got a superstar?
The Bulls, the Derrick Rose, and it wasn't even through free agency. It was through the
So again, when was the last time the Chicago Bulls got a superstar?
2008.
In the summer, like a free agent signing.
A superstar?
Exactly. You can't think of one because they don't. So why is that even a question? Why is that even a statement? That's not how the Bulls go. That's not how the Bulls do business. Like you guys should know this. I mean, you single-handedly see it with your baseball team that's run by the same owner. They don't pay the big money for the big players. So like why it's another summer. It's been the Chicago Bulls for the last, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 years. You know, they got Michael Jordan, they drafted Michael Jordan. And they've got the players around him. You know, they don't sign superstars. It's not their DNA. And Tony says D Wade. D Wade in his last legs and his last ligaments of his knees, of his back, whatever the case may be. Like it wasn't the D Wade that we saw in Miami during the LeBron years or even his first years with Miami winning it with Shaq. So it's like when the Bulls ever sign a superstar? They don't. They get lucky getting superstars. Jordan and D Rose. That's it. Or am I wrong, Jose?
My bad, Eric.
Am I wrong about the Bulls getting superstars?
No, I mean, bro, come on, man. It's like I know Tony says Wade, right? But Wade was past his prime. Like, would you even consider that a superstar? Like, it's
no.
Now he was at one point a superstar, so I guess you really can't say they haven't, right? He was at one point a superstar, but it wasn't a superstar that made a difference.
Like a superstar in his prime.
Yeah, somebody in his prime, somebody that's going to carry your franchise for 10 years plus, if possible, or I don't know. Nowadays in the NBA, there really is no 10-year plus superstar. I mean, hell, you thought Luka Doncic was going to be one of them. Look what happened to him.
Got traded.
So it's crazy. But yeah, but that's why I'm willing to watch. I'm willing to enjoy because there's no expectations there. You know what I mean? There's really no like. Yes, I'm mad at the Bulls. At like Tony says right. Like the White Sox, they suck. I mean, they have the same owner though. You know what I mean? It's like same owner, and I boycotted the Bulls all season. All season. If I can watch that playing game without spending money, I would watch it. I'll put it to you that way. And it's not that I can't spend money. I'm not being cheap. I refuse to pay for something when it's like when the quality isn't there. You know what I mean? That's why I haven't. I was skeptical on getting the Marquee Network. Now I'm like I want to watch it because the Cubs are really doing good. But at that point,
I got you, bro. You want my login? I got you.
Yeah, bro. Send me the login, man.
Come to it.
I'll do a little trial before I think about spending that money. You know what I mean?
And I'll hit it. Or we could go half.
Again, we can't. I mean, as long as we're able to share, like stream share. But again, I don't mind paying it. I could do it, right? It's just
right.
But
it just pisses me off though, bro, because it's like we're in the same fucking cycle of sucking, bro. Like we're in the same cycle, like we don't progress from what we normally know, and that's how to be a fucking basketball held team in the Chicago Bulls, bro. Like we're banking on or wishing on fucking luck of getting some high ass draft pick with a very low percentage just for us to do something with it, and then absolutely not do shit with it. Like a lot of people like to back in the 90s love to give Jerry Krause some shit but he built the team around Michael Jordan, and they were successful, winning 6 championships. Gar and Pax, they did whatever they had to do with Derrick Rose, but they didn't do enough to build around Derrick Rose. They were just like, okay, Derrick Rose, let's just do this.
And after that, they were good at sustaining
Mediocrity.
by building sustaining teams that are going to make the playoffs, that are fun to watch, but yet do nothing in return. Like, let's be honest, that Wade, Rondo, Butler team was a fun to watch team. I mean, they were playing pretty hard. It was pretty fun at some points, but we all knew what it was. Like, it was a makeshift team. And if there's anything that proves more to the point that Jerry Reinsdorf or the Reinsdorf family only want your money and not the success of the franchise. I mean, well, I guess the on-court success of the franchise. It's a success if they're making money, right?
Right.
But on the on-court success of the franchise, it's that right there. When your own front office said they were going to be young and athletic,
and that's what pissed me off.
And yet they went the complete opposite direction. That was ownership telling, like, no, guys, we need to put a product out there that's going to bring people to the stands, that's going to get us just where we need to be in the middle of mediocrity, and then fall short like always.
Yeah, because we love to go to the United Center because that's where Michael Jordan was, and we love to see the championship banners that you can't even see now because they were burnt down, and so on and so forth. It's Chicago and it's basketball, and when I tell you the Chicago and basketball, Chicago loves its basketball.
There you go.
But I'm not willing to spend even more money on food and beers and wings, Tony, just for me to watch the Bulls that I'm not even excited to watch.
You can make a day out of it. Just go chill, eat some good wings.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but at the same time, dude, we did that for John in the fantasy football when I had to turn in the trophy for the Game of Thrones league, bro.
And it happened to be on Derrick Rose night. It happened to be on Derrick Rose night.
And we were half-assed watching that game, my guy. So what makes it?
Because it wasn't the game we were interested in. It was the halftime show.
Yeah, for sure.
Even honoring Derrick Rose.
They should have just retired his number right then and there. But they know they're going to suck next year. So what they're going to do, hey, fans, come next year to retire Derrick so we can retire Derrick Rose number.
Smart business.
When you should have done that shit this season.
I agree.
Smart. It's just another way for we to get suckered in to give the Reinsdorfs more fucking money and then him just laugh in our face like, look, see, you guys are just dumb enough to come to the stadium and we watch this because that's Chicago's very own. And then here we are, como pendejos, allá atrás, corriendo al pinche United Center, like nothing.
But hey, I mean, it works though, doesn't it? I mean, they're always number one or top 3 in attendance. So, but again, I give credit to the people who put on the event. You know what I mean? Like, they do a good job putting on the event. It's a good date night. It's a good time to take the kids out. You know what I mean? The Bulls do it right. As far as putting on a show, it's just a product on the court. Right now, it's good though. Right now, Eric, people want to see it. But it's just like the casual fans want to watch how fun this team is. It's the diehards like us who are like, nah, get this out of my face because we know damn well it does nothing for the organization, championship wise, and that's what we want.
Not even championship wise, bro. Like, I don't really care about a championship for the Chicago.
You do care about a championship. That's the goal.
But right now, I just want a competitive team that I could be excited to root for. That's the first step for me before I even think about a championship.
But Eric, that's the thing. We've always had a competitive team. It's just they hit a ceiling. You want a championship competitive team. That's the team that's going to be number 1 in the East. That's the team that's going to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's the team that's going to have an opportunity to maybe have an MVP or a scoring champion or whatever. That's what you want. Coach of the year,
something. And we had that with Derrick Rose, and we didn't know how to elevate from that because that was just enough.
That was a different regime. You can't really blame this regime. This regime has so much more issues.
By the way, Jose, the score is 122-99. Cleveland Cavaliers. So much for a comeback for the Chicago.
It was looking like a comeback, and then obviously the Cleveland Cavaliers, they showed who they say they were, which is a much better team.
Yeah, man, but it sucks, bro. It sucks to be in this position because like I can't fully get excited for these young kids that deserve the excitement and the cheering from us Bulls fans for that they deserve because they've been playing so hard for the last month and a half. They're in the play-in tournament, yes, but we know at the end of the day the result is either A, you don't make it out of the play-in tournament like you haven't had the last 2 years, or B, you finally make it into the playoffs, but you're ultimately going to get beaten by a better team like you're playing against today, or the Boston Celtics, who is even a much better team who just is fresh off an NBA championship, and we're just really gonna get embarrassed on a national stage just for the national audience to just shit on another Chicago Bear, another Chicago team, and another Chicago owner of a team, and just be very disrespectful and plan out embarrassing that they're talking about us in that type of level, in that type of platform, and that we do nothing about it or they do nothing about it. And that's the one thing that I'm just tired of. Like I'm legit just tired of hearing and seeing. Like I've heard it so much with the Chicago Bears. I'm hearing it so much with the Chicago Bulls. It's tiring. It's tiring. We shouldn't be in this position as a city of Chicago with their sports team, bro. Like it's just annoying.
We're here though, and it's fine. Like I said, there's nothing we can do about
It's
it. You know,
super nonchalant.
we're
It's
we're
cool.
boy we're boycotting it right now. You know what I mean? That's just where we're at. We're boycotting it right now. Like again, the playing
Yeah,
game. I'm like I said, if I had access to that network, I'm not gonna lie, I would watch it, but I don't. So
I got you. Windy City Rundown here with Jose and Eric on Facebook and YouTube, guys. Make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, on MySpace, on Tag. Just all those social media platforms. Follow us, like us. Make sure you guys join us in our conversation. The link is in the bio too as well. Let me just put that on there right now. The link is in the bio if you guys want to join the show. Or join us like Tony did, like John did, like Caesar did. Just join and Sulu. Just join us in the comment section. Give us
where,
your sports
where
thoughts
did
about the
John
Chicago
go? He
Bulls.
just disappeared like my
He
dad.
just said, "What's up, guys?" and then just dip. Just join us if you guys want to join us on our topic of conversation. We're talking about the Chicago Bulls. Where's your level of excitement about the Bulls and the play-in? Can you think they can make it to the playoffs? Is this the right move? Tell us what you guys think. We're here all night. We're here for another half an hour of our show. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys for liking. Make sure you guys like and share all our episodes too as well.
Like and share.
Jose, the Cubs and the Sox have a 1 week already into their season. The Chicago Cubs surprise. All right, let me. The Chicago Cubs have been surprised, but in a division where they're at right now, it's more than likely that they're the better team and it's far superior. They're already 3.5 games above the St. Louis Cardinals in first place. I know it's one weekend, but you can already see the establishment of how the teams are going to be played. Now, I say this, and the Cubs are what, seven? Where were they? 7-3, I think. Seven and
Oh, they're
four
8-4.
or
Well,
something like that. 8-4. Um, but the crazy part about it, all the shit that I've been talking about the Chicago Cubs this whole entire offseason, all the spring training, you know it, you guys heard it. It's out there on the platforms and whatnot about me just going in hard on my Chicago Cubs. The fact that the 2 games that I've watched the whole entire so far this season have been the games that the Chicago Cubs have blown, and the reasons that I believe why the Cubs are going to be blowing up the games. It's crazy to me that when I don't watch it, they're fucking winning and they're
you're
dealing with
jinx.
offensive problems, bro. And it's so crazy to me, and it kind of pisses me. It does make me upset a little bit that I'm at right now. They're up 6-3 against the Texas Rangers. Nico Horner just uh, put in two runs, so 6-3 Cubs on the Rangers.
The offense, man. The offense
It,
that's
it's
wild.
crazy. Yeah,
Wild.
dude, and to think that in Chicago it takes a while for the offense to come together, and I think it also helps out that they were out west too as well. But yeah, dude, the offense looks like they're just in sync, ready to go. Jose, how excited are you about your Chicago Cubbies?
Um
Or is it too early to be really that excited about your Chicago Cubs?
it's too early to be excited, but I am impressed. I am impressed. It's fun. Like I said, it's fun. It's fun too. It's fun. I don't know how else to put it. It really is. It's
Other
fun.
than it's fun.
It is. It's fun. It's only because like as a Chicago sports fan in general, you're almost waiting for the but, or you're almost waiting for the catch. You know what I mean? Like, okay, they're great, but it's not gonna last. Or they're great, but what's the catch? Their offense is great, but maybe they're gonna give up a lot of runs. I don't know. You're waiting for it. You know what I mean? You're always waiting for because
Hmm.
that's just how we're wired. It's always like that for
Hmm.
us. We either come out the gate sucking or we start off hot and then we just fall flat on our faces. But it's good. But it's fun right now. It's fun right now. So I'm trying to enjoy the moment. I'm not trying to look too much ahead. You know what I mean? But if a month or two of this, I'm not gonna lie. Then I'm gonna be like, you know, I'm really, I'm really gonna be looking at this team like, boy.
Oh, for sure. I mean, and look, they got a really really tough part of their schedule coming up, right? They started in Tokyo, way west, right? Then they came back to the states, finished up spring training, and then they opened up the season, um, in what the desert, right? They start off the season
Arizona.
in Arizona, still stayed out west, still played against Athletics, worst team in baseball by far, maybe could be one of the worst team in baseball. Have the Padres, and right now they're against the Rangers, right? It gets tougher after this, dude. Like then they go after the Texas, then they still go back out west again. They got 3 against the Dodgers, 3 against the Padres, and then they come back to face against the Diamondbacks, to face against the Dodgers, to face against the Phillies. Like this is like their tough part of the schedule, and this will actually tell me a lot about the Chicago Cubs and what they're going to be for the rest of the 2025 season.
I wouldn't say that because it's always the beginning. This is still the beginning stages of the season,
But it's
right?
still the tough part of their schedule. It's literally
It's tough.
it's literally all the teams that were in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, no, and I agree with that. It's tough, but it could also be like these teams are finding their footing. These teams are also finding their way into if it's better to have this stretch so early in the season because once you have it in the middle or later part of the season, that's when everybody's established already. That's when you know what everybody is.
Yeah.
So you're right as far as these are good teams, so we don't the Cubs don't want to hold back or take them lightly, but it's still beginning stages early of the season, so it's like teams are still finding identities.
Tony goes on the comments.
That's why I'm very
interested. That catches you on. And you're absolutely right. Look, and what Tony says is true. Like the thing is that he likes is that they play the small ball and not depending on the long ball, which is true. And I noticed that the Cubs have been raking in so many runs because they've been playing small ball, doubles up the middle. The great defensive plays. Like I think they only have so far in this young season only had 2 errors. And this is what the Chicago Cubs were expected to be. But at the same time, everybody's still playing above where they're supposed to be playing. Shota's very good, but he's really a reliable number 1. Do you really need a number 1 so he could be a great number 2? That's what it is. Do you need another bat behind Kyle Tucker, which I believe they do? I don't think he has that much protection in front of him or behind him. The bullpen, like I said, the 2 games that I watched, the bullpen has blown the games for the Chicago Cubs against the Dodgers and against the Padres in the last 2 Sundays. Like the Cubs still need a lot of work. And yes, I know I've been shitting on them all entire offseason. And yes, it's great to see. But to be completely 100% honest with you, it's what I expected. The Cubs are the better team in our division.
You didn't say
Pirates
that.
are not that great.
You didn't say
Pirates
that.
are not that good. Cincinnati's the only wild card. Whether they're going to be good or not, who knows?
Cap.
And then, damn, who else am I missing? The Brewers. The Brewers are taking a step back.
I wonder if this is crazy. I was saying this exact same thing weeks ago, and you were shitting at me all over it for it.
Right.
All over.
Right. But when the real baseball came and saw, I'm like, okay, so it is true how the teams are going to look like. So okay,
it's true that Jose was right. Jose was right. That's
right. But again, the problems are still the same problems. The issues that I've been saying the whole entire offseason are still there.
Thank you, Tony. I think he forgot. We had a bet. 83, was it 83 and a half wins?
Something like that.
It was 83 and a half wins.
We know in the end, you're buying the Hooters.
You're buying the Hooters. Exactly.
And to be completely honest, dude, it's a long season. They're literally one long-term injury away for that not to happen because they don't have the depth. It's just, I'm not trying to get too excited about the Chicago Cubs because they haven't really given me that hope or the excitement that I wanted them to have this whole entire offseason. The crazy part about it now is now that, unfortunately, now the ball or the bat is not on their side of the field anymore because of the deal of Vladimir Guerrero that he got paid. Was it today or yesterday?
All I know is around the time the season's over with, you should be getting a bonus. So yeah, I say you definitely taking me out for winning. You know what I mean?
But now the Cubs are going to be put in a predicament. The Cubs are going to be put in a predicament right now about what they're gonna do with Kyle Tucker. They only have him for a whole entire year. And everybody was talking about it. Where does he lie between the Juan Soto deal? Is he gonna get paid up to the same amount of Juan Soto, or is he gonna get paid less? Now with the deal that Vlad Guerrero got today, which I'm trying to get right now, my computer's acting a little slow. Um, let me see, let me see, let me see, let me see. Keep going, keep going. But Vlad Guerrero got paid by the Toronto Blue Jays a 14-year deal, my guy, for Vlad Guerrero to stay with Toronto, and the deal
Those
was worth up to $500 million.
deals are crazy.
Right, it's crazy.
14 years. He's gonna give you at least 10 good years.
Right, 10 good years,
If healthy.
right, if healthy, and obviously he's been playing there since he was 20.
The
You
rest of
know,
that's good faith.
that's all he knows is basically the Toronto Blue Jays. Like with the number that he got, where do you see it is? Does Kyle Tucker deserve the money that Juan Soto is getting, or the money that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is getting?
I don't know, man. I don't know. He's gonna get somebody's gonna pay him no matter what. And we know it's not gonna be the Cubs. The Cubs not gonna throw that type of money.
Then you're gonna lose.
You are gonna lose him.
What's the player that they traded for? Cam Ward, Cam Smith, I forgot his name already. Like you traded away a very top prospect for Kyle Tucker just for him to walk out at the end of the year.
And I think that's what frustrates me is the fact that just like the Bulls, what is their identity? It's almost like they're also just trying to put a product out there. Like, hey, guess what? We got Kyle Tucker, but here's the catch: you only got him for a year because we're either we're not going to pay him, or we're going to be quote unquote contending throughout right by the trade deadline, especially with the way they're looking now. We're going to be quote unquote either contending or looking like we might contend, and we're not going to trade him away because maybe something could happen. Who knows, right? And we end up losing him for a whole bunch of nothing. And we lost, like you said, a prospect, and it's like that's what makes me mad. Pick a side. Choose what you want to do. Choose a lane. Pick a lane. What are we doing here?
Pick a fucking lane.
Pick a lane.
And see, this is where my excitement just dies for the Chicago Cubs, my guy, because like I said, like the moment I heard biblical losses from Tom Ricketts, bro, I knew he wasn't gonna spend any money.
This motherfucker is biblical losses, bro.
And like you throw him, it's like perfect example. You're the padrino and you're doing bolo, and you're throwing coins, right? But instead of like dollar coins or 50-cent coins, you're throwing pennies. You're throwing dimes. That's all you're doing. Just to like, okay, if you pick this one up, good. I'm gonna keep you. That's what he's doing. And it frustrates me, bro. Like it frustrates me because like you have the money to do it. Just do it. Do it for us. You say you care about the fans of the Chicago Cubs. You care about the Chicago Cubs in general, but you haven't done dilly squat since you got here.
He cares about the money that they bring in. He doesn't care about
they bring in money, dude. He has the corporation of Wrigleyville. It's Wrigley Corp. How many times I've always said it in the show, like it's not Wrigleyville, it's Wrigley Corp by the Ricketts. And it's just crazy to me.
Right.
Like
Tony's right. The Cubs always been this way. Even if you look back at the Aroldis Chapman trade, look at all they gave up. But at least that brought in a World Series. So like you can look past that. You know what I mean? Here nowadays, as well as the Cubs look, come on, I don't think anybody's talking World Series here. I don't think nobody's talking championship. You know what I mean? That has you have to see legitimately this type of play 5-6 months in. You know what I mean? You're like, or 4 months in, sorry. And then it's like, whoa, hold on, you know what's going on. But at this point, I mean, I agree. Again, I don't want to get into that because like again, it kills the vibe that we have going on. But it's
going to happen.
It's Chicago. It's just the trauma that we're in. Like Eric, you and I, we were so caught up in so much. It's almost like you and I took a step back from the toxicity of what is Chicago sports, right? It's like it was so easy for us to just get caught up in all the glitz and the glam of what looks like could be great, but in reality, it's just shit. You know, it's chicken shit. You know what I mean? You think it looks like chicken salad from the outside, but once you get a little bit closer, you start to smell it, and you're like, You know, and I think you and I are both on the same page where it's like we're not falling for the same thing over and over.
No, we're
At the
not.
same time, ignorance is bliss, and I do miss the ignorance a little bit. I do miss
See, it can't be
the
that.
the excitement. No, I'm with you. I can't, right? But I do miss the excitement of believing something's possible when in reality we both know that's going to happen, right? But I think that's what that's what a fandom is about, right? The ignorance. I miss it.
Yeah, but sometimes the ignorance gives you false hope and false belief, and that's what pisses you off and brings you right back, bro. And then you're even
Not
more
sometimes,
mad.
all the time.
You're even more
That's
upset.
what I'm
You're
saying.
even more mad.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why you and I took a step back because again, we know where this is heading.
Yeah.
We know where this is headed. You know what I mean? It's like you look at a girl who you know is gonna break your heart, but you're like, you know what, I could fix her. In reality, it's like you're going down the same route.
So here it is, dude. So yeah, Vlad Guerrero Jr., 14 years, 500 million. He's the third richest contract in the MLB, only behind Shohei Otani and Juan Soto. Juan Soto is 15 years, 765 million, and then Shohei Otani is 10 for 700 million. You know, so those are the two contracts that's behind Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Now, again, the Cubs are not going to splash, unfortunately, that type of money. The Cubs are not going to give that type of money to anybody anytime soon or at all. I'm not 100% sure. But if you really want to keep Kyle Tucker, it's not going to be for 10, 15 years. Dude's about to crack 30 within the next year or two. So you're not going to give a almost 30-year-old 10-year deal. But an 8-year, 400 million, where you're at the top pay with those three guys in the top five, it's kind of reasonable. We'll just see it's going to happen. And I can't get excited. Jose, I cannot get excited. No matter how well the Cubs are playing. And it's going to piss me off because it's like, I want to join the fun. I really, really do. And then when I join the fun,
Eric. Just do it.
yeah, but then I feel like the moment I join the fun, like some shit's going to happen and
That's
it's going to
fine.
piss me right off.
But expect it. Be here for a good time, not for a long time.
Nah, but I'm here for a long time. What do you mean?
Eric, you know,
I'm here.
I'm trying to put it. Eric, you ever been to a strip club?
No, I have not.
Okay, well, that makes two of us. No, I've been to one.
I've never been.
But I'm gonna use this analogy. It's like you're going there, right? And you know the girl's gonna dance on you. You know she's gonna do things, but you know it's not gonna last. Once you leave, and she's only there for the money. Think of it like that. You're there for the experience, right? You're watching the Cubs for the experience, knowing damn well there's nothing coming out of it.
That's what 2015 was. That's what 2016 was. That's what
No, no, no,
2017
no,
was.
no, no, no. That was not what those years were. Because those years brought 2015 brought hope. There was a
No,
difference there.
2015 brought the experience where you could have
20,
fun. It did bring hope.
2015 brought hope. 2016 brought the completion of that hope, and then 2017 brought, damn, can we really do this again? Like the 2017 brought like, bro, we're about to repeat. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then that was it. And then afterwards, it was absolutely nothing. What I'm saying is, let go of the expectation, enjoy the ride,
Okay.
and if it ends a lot earlier than you thought it would, or if it ends early enough to where you thought where it was going to end this early, then great, you're right. But if it doesn't, you're surprised, right? Same with the playing game, right? We know the Bulls aren't going to do nothing but experience. Just enjoy the ride.
Enjoy the ride.
Enjoy the ride.
What you say, ignorance is bliss, right?
Ignorance is bliss.
I am all good, man. I you're right. I'm that type of guy. Prove me wrong instead of prove me right. I know I should be on that. I know I should be on that one, right? Like just enjoy the fun, prove me wrong. But the moment that I'm right, it's just gonna be like, man, I just wasted my time. I don't want to waste my time.
You know which
I'm a
wrestler?
man. I'm 34. I don't need to be wasting my time.
Here's a wrestling question. You know which wrestler used to say, "Prove me wrong"? You know who used to say that?
Who used to say that?
Chris Benoit.
Ah. Oh, never mind. I was going to say something. I'm just going to keep that comment to myself.
Peace.
Windy City Rundown here on Facebook and on YouTube, guys. Make sure you hit the bell to get notified when our shows are live on Facebook and also on YouTube. Tony says, tell me about it. They've been breaking my heart since 1979.
Damn.
Yeah. That's longer than you and I both together.
That's why I'm not trying to
Not to put your business out like that, my guy.
Respectfully, Tony.
Respectfully, Tony.
I'm not trying. But like, they're always gonna break my heart, right? But
Right.
like I said, this has been a little. This is. I'm not gonna lie. Boycotting the Bulls, I feel like have brought me a lot more peace. Because you remember, I used to be screaming on here. I used to feel like I don't have diabetes, but I feel like my blood pressure was through the roof or anything. You know, it's like, fuck.
Yeah, I know. I can't do it anymore. I'm too old for this, but it is what it is. Speaking of wrestling, Jose, I like how you brought that segue into it, right? As we close
last
on
10 minutes of the show, baby.
last 10 minutes of the show, we talk about some wrestling. And the road to WrestleMania is cooking up. We're literally cooking with gas. We're cooking with fire. We're cooking with oil. You know,
Maybe we cooking.
Where the whole thing, chef. You know, Triple H is doing his little great impression of doing his chef cooking, dude.
We cooking.
And Jose, I got a quick game for you. It's called Two Truths and a Lie. I'm gonna say three things. You got to pick out two truths and a lie. All right. Number one, Tiffany can hold her own against anybody on the mic. Right.
I already found the lie.
Charlotte Flair really got rattled and with the crowd here in Chicago.
That's true.
And Luther Kaiser is in her DMs. Charlotte Flair's DMs, by the way. Which is the two truth and the lie?
You got two lies. He says, that's my cue to leave wrestling. Sorry.
Thank you, Tony. We appreciate you.
We appreciate on this show. So you got two lies and the truth. There's no way in hell Kaiser's in her DMs. That's a damn lie.
Uh-huh.
And Tiffany cannot hold her own. Tiffany's been getting cooked up until last week.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, I feel like she had to get personal to even win this battle, and it also took because Charlotte was rattled by a Chicago fan. So yeah, it was. It was very interesting. It was a fun watch. You know, from all reports say that it was very off script.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, who knows? I feel like this is what this feud needed. I think this feud was very underwhelming up until this point. And because there are turmoil between the two ladies who are facing off at WrestleMania, like real turmoil, I think it definitely adds a lot to the quality of the match and the intrigue of the match.
No, 100%. And to be completely fair and completely honest with you, there's a lot of rumor that says that Charlotte was the one that went off script, right? And Charlotte was the one that
she started it. It's she started it. Yeah,
right. And which was the reason why Tiffany Stratton had to do what she had to do, simply because of that same reason. And I do believe that it's good. It feels fuel to this fire, and we may get like a Nia Jax Charlotte Flair incident once again at WrestleMania, next week, where they actually do hit each other.
Well, I think these two women are talented enough to put on a good match. I think you're going to see some high flying. You're going to see. I just hope they're able to work together to get that possible. They're not trying to one up each other, because then it's like we all know wrestling is choreographed. So I don't want to see them. I don't want to see somebody sandbagging, which is what they say in the business, where they're using all their weight, and then the other opponent has to try to pick them up and to kind of ruin things. Like we've seen that a lot. The most recent match was in AEW with Mercedes Moné and Britt Baker, two stars, but because they didn't like each other personally, like the match that wasn't as good as you wanted it to be. I don't want that to happen here. I hope it doesn't. But I think this could be a making of a really good match. It's just been, how you present it is what's been the issue.
Mm-hmm. Is that the one that you referenced where she's like, bitch, what line?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was, like I said, Britt Baker has her own problems. We haven't seen her since, and it is what it is.
Jose, also, there's a few more matches that were added to the WrestleMania event. Obviously, we have AJ Styles versus Logan Paul,
which should be a banger.
Which should be a good one. Yeah, I think these two can actually put out a performance too as well. And the one that was introduced to us yesterday is Rey Mysterio versus Chad Grande Americano.
Grande Americano.
Grande Americano. that was added yesterday on yesterday's show, man.
I love it.
So
I love it. It's so funny.
it's hilarious. It's to a
Uh,
certain degree, it's hilarious. It really is. It really is. Another match that could probably be a possible banger too as well between those two guys, even though we see very little of El Grande Americano in WWE so far. Your thoughts on those two new added matches for WrestleMania?
I think it's gonna be a fun. I think Rey Mysterio and El Grande Americano should be a good fight. Good match. I don't know. Sometimes I think Rey Mysterio is a little past. I mean, not a little. He's past his prime, so it's gonna be carried by Chad Gable. I mean, Americano, right? So I don't know. Quality of the match. We'll see how it goes. It's a fun story.
Filler.
So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for both matches.
Then the triple threat women one for the title has been officially been official,
That
even
one I'm
though it
excited.
felt
That
like
one
it's
I'm
already
excited for the most.
been
I think
official.
that one's gonna be great. Yeah, I think
I,
that one can steal the show.
uh yeah, it became official, and Io. I think this is making Io look so great. Even though the two main talking points of Blair and Rhea just going off, I think putting Io into that underdog story, and even though she's the champion, I think really brings out the best of Io Sky. You're right; it has the opportunity of actually be the match of the event, of not just the night of WrestleMania. Yeah,
Yep.
it has the possibility of. So it was official yesterday that those three are competing in the triple threat match for WrestleMania next week. Next week's show, we will give you our winners, who's going to win to for the title or for the matches that are coming up at WrestleMania. And honestly, yesterday I think Jey Uso finally put out a promo that was just amazing. That actually got me excited for the match between Jey Uso and Gunther.
I was gonna say that match definitely picked up steam, for sure. And shout out to Jimmy.
Oh,
Jimmy's the one who helped carry this match into what it is today. Definitely helped pick up steam. And Jimmy's not even part of the match, but
no, he's not.
his contribution is what got me intrigued.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited. I'm excited for that match. If I can't say, the one match I am worried about, and this might surprise you because this is the match I wanted the most, was the Cena Cody match. I
They're
feel
like
like
taking the back seat, no?
I feel like no, I just kind of feel like there has to be some theatrics like it was with Cody and Roman for it to be memorable. Unless Cena wins, the only way this match becomes memorable is if Cena wins and breaks the record. Otherwise, Cena's not a worker anymore to the point where he's gonna put on like a 20 to 30 minute match and expect to have a quality match. Like Cody's gonna have to carry him. You know what I mean? Cody's gonna
Yeah.
have to carry him a little bit. So Cena's been out for a while. So who knows how the pace of the match is gonna be. There's gonna have to be a lot of storytelling. So I would imagine maybe seeing The Rock in it, maybe seeing somebody come out to Cody's aid because again you kind of need that big finish, and who knows how that's gonna turn out. But that's my only issue. But regardless, I'm excited to see it. I'm gonna hope it's a good card. So
It's funny, but it's crazy that you say that because as you were saying, I'm thinking about it, and you're saying that he needs theatrics to make this, match somewhat good, right? Do you think that it will somehow, some way dilute, either A, Cody's title run, or B, John Cena's record breaking, just because it had to go that far in order for something like that to happen
no,
to make it that well?
no. Because if both of these guys were baby faces, then yes. But because Cena's a heel, it only furthers that heel run for him. Like
Gotcha. Okay.
greatest heel cheats. You need to cheat, right? That gives you more heat. That the fans will boo you more. They'll be like, "Hey, no!" And it also protects Cody. It protects. Remember, Cody is still your face of the franchise, face of the company.
Mm-hmm.
So it also protects him. Like, oh, you can't beat Cody in a fair fight. You cheated, right? Which puts more hate on Cena and more sympathy towards Cody, which is a win-win scenario.
And then last and not least, I think we've finally been getting what we wanted for the last 10 years, 12 years, that CM Punk is going down as a main eventer, as we already know. But he's going with his advocate, with his best friend, with Roman Reigns, his wise man, out of all things. He literally put the ball and took it and put it in his own court and actually put, Roman Reigns in a disadvantage, facing against basically his ops. If you kind of think about it, with Seth Rollins, being his biggest op, and now CM Punk being one of his other ops of taking him out of WrestleMania in the main event, which even though he still got at the end of the day, but taking him out of the title range, CM Punk with a power move, man. How do you feel? Is it a long time coming now that CM Punk finally gets to walk down with his best friend at WrestleMania for the main event?
It's interesting and it's very sentimental in that value. It's great to see. His best friend. They're both going to be walking down together in his first main event WrestleMania match. So it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool sight. But yeah, we're going to have our predictions. You said next week as to who we think we're going to win. I think it might shock you on who I think might win this match. So
I don't think nothing's going to shock me, to be completely honest with you. I think you still could carry on a storyline with any of those winners. Look, well, we'll see. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll see. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, John, for popping in for a second just to say hi. Thank you, Sulu. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Caesar, for hopping on our show today, guys. Make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Make sure you guys hit the little bell on our Facebook and YouTube page to get notified when our shows are live. And make sure, forgetting something else. Jeez. Make sure you share our episodes. There you go. Make sure you share our episodes, every single episode, on all our social media platforms. Jose, any last words before we leave?
No. Surprisingly not. Go Cubs, go. How about that?
Go Cubs, go. 3-0 to the Arsenal. It's gonna be a long ass week for me. It's for them to go next week. I'm excited. Today was a good day. Today was a great day. Today was a great day for my Northlanders, for my Gunners. But I'm not naive. Still a whole another 90 minutes at the Bernabeu. So, and like John said, if Real Madrid wins, it's rigged. And I will be the first to admit that. And we'll probably make a video on TikTok. So there's that. As for me for today, EA, the Arsenal fan, Jose Contreras. This is the Windy City Rundown. We thank you guys very much. And as always, Jose, hit that outro.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
He's running like he's got a lobster down his pants, showing that he is as slippery as a bar of soap.
Like poop through a diarrhea-infected goose.
Commented about it.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm not laughing about it. You think this is funny? I take this serious.
I'm not.
Real serious. I put my heart and soul into this every single week.
Are we done here?
It's about time.